I'm
Hey,
sorry.
that's better.
You know what? I do these lives and I'm still so technophobe, so I'm
Oh,
getting
doll,
used
me
to
too.
this.
I'm dreadful. But you
I'm
smashed
dreadful.
it. It's perfect now.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually doing quite well at the moment. You know, same as everybody else, having these up and down moments. But I'm feeling really good. It's a stunning
Yeah,
day. It's really sunny. How are you? Are you okay?
good, thank you. Yeah, just been really kind of busy with the workshops and
Yeah,
you know
I
what
can see.
it's trying to find light in a time when it's so difficult. But you know, things like this are perfect, and the six kind of thing has just really taken off. And where did you train, by the way, Lauren?
I trained in Mountview in
Oh
when I
wow.
was in Wood Green. So I think it's in Peckin now. I think it's moved, but I was in Wood Green. Yeah.
Wow, I know. I had my audition there, and I was like, I had my little piece of paper.
Yeah, I know,
I
but I
went
tell
through
you what,
Morrison's.
because when I went there, I was like, oh my God, this is like not what I kind of expected a school to the kind of area for a school to be in. But I actually had like the best 3 years there. It was
Yeah,
really great and really fun. But the first like glimpse, you're a bit like, oh, Jesus.
yeah, definitely. No, and it's a great school. And how long ago were you there?
2000 and, oh Jesus, was it 16 I left? 2016 is when I
Wow.
graduated.
Okay, great. So let everyone wants to know. Obviously, we will touch on Heather's, but tell us about your six experience and what it was like getting that phone call.
Oh my God. Well, funnily enough, I actually got the job in town originally as a swing when it first went into the West End. And
Wow.
I was really like, obviously didn't know very much about the show, hadn't seen it in Edinburgh. So I was really quite like uncertain of like what it was I was getting myself into. So I then got offered Heathers and took that instead. And then when
Wow.
obviously everything kicked off at 6, I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's like amazing. It's an amazing show. Um, and then obviously the audition process for 6 was like a really different audition process because we all kind of went in together. So like all of the Catherine O'Arrigans were in together, all of the Catherine Howards were in together, to boost that. It's to kind of build morale and show you the kind of like idea of the show.
Yeah,
Um, so you can all hype each other up, which is really fun, but really different to like any other audition, you know, that you would normally do.
I kind of love
Um,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and then all of the creatives, I think, were struggling, kind of wondering where I should be placed. And
Right.
I know a lot of people were speculating that I would be Catherine Howard, but that's obviously because everyone seems to think I look like Amy. I went to go see 6 in the West End, right? And I came out the stage door, and I had about 15 people like asking for my autograph, and I thought they were Heather's fans, right? So I was like, yeah, no worries, no worries. And all of a sudden I heard them be like, oh my God, all you want to do was so great. And I was like, yeah, what? Oh no. I was like, no, no. So I'm like signing my name like on 6 programs, thinking I'm Amy,
That's
and I'm not.
brilliant.
So that was
That's
really
amazing.
funny. So getting the call and being told I was Catherine of Aragon, I was chuffed because that was my favourite song to sing out of
Love
all
it.
of them. Yeah.
It's so good, and it's such a tune. I always have it on in the gym, babe. Literally, I'm
Oh,
like
come on.
jogging. The whole album I do. So you know, what was it? I was speaking to Jen about this earlier, and what I love about the show is that you all have your own take on it, and the casting for it is so broad. I mean, there isn't a casting really
No,
for
there's not,
it.
which is that's why I love it so much. Because when obviously, you know, I'm very different to people who've played Catherine of Aragon. And I was like, I've watched pretty much all of them do Omega 6, and I've watched all the West End girls, and they're all amazing, but all different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what they love about what they want to do with the show is they want you to integrate your own personality into each queen so that you have the same kind of mannerism of the character. However,
Yes.
everything else is your own. So it's basically a massively egotistical version of yourself,
Yeah, I
to be
love it.
real.
Yeah, I love that, and I just think it's so fun, and I love that you all have your own costumes, tailor made, and
Yeah.
it just means you can give your own stamp, and you're not constantly thinking, "Oh, that's what the last person did."
Yeah.
So I think
Oh
that's
no,
so cool.
absolutely. Yeah, because I think that's the worst thing ever. I would
Yeah,
that you know it's nice to just be able to kind of create something your own and you can just put yourself into that character, which makes life it's just really fun then, isn't it?
exactly. And so tell us what you did in Heathers. So what was your track?
So, I originally, when we did it at the other palace, I was dance captain. I was cover Heather Chandler, and I was cover Heather Duke.
Wow.
Hilariously, I was covering Geordie, and now we're like working again in a show together, and we're both, it's just so weird, isn't it? Like such a small world. But funnily enough, the story behind like the dance captain situation was I was actually doing Kinky Boots in the Adelphi at the time when I got Heather's. So I was rehearsing for Heather's, doing Kinky Boots in the night, like doubling up. But I wasn't there for like most of the evenings because on my double show days I had to leave.
Oh.
So then one day the choreographer was like, oh, you know, we're so impressed with how you're picking up choreography, because what I was doing was I was like, I have to go in and like know what I'm doing, like in the morning, because everyone's going to be like ready to go, and I've missed like the last like 2 hours of rehearsal. So I would like get everyone to send me videos. I'd learn it after a show at 11 o'clock. I'd learn all the choreography, and then I'd wake up, go to rehearsal, knowing the choreography. So then he was like, oh, we think you'd be a really great dance captain. And I was like, oh my gosh, right, okay, great. But I hadn't kind of built that relationship with all of my cast at that point, because I was just like going in as like seeing all my mates. So that was like a funny little transition, but also a really, really great experience, because then I was dance captain on the West End because it moved to West End. So
wow,
yeah,
what an experience. And what, you know, how do they fare? I've spoken to Jodie a lot about this. How does Heather's fare to Six? I suppose you don't have a favourite maybe, but that they're so different.
They are so different. They are very different, but in terms of the fandom, like very, very similar vibe, because we'd experienced Heather's for like its fandom, which was incredible and massive. And when we opened up at the other palace, like it was honestly like a wall of sound smacks you in the back of the head. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, it's honestly unreal. But in terms of like because I'm playing Catherine of Aragon, like in my own right, I think I get much more of a buzz that I can play a lot more, and that's kind of where I'm lying. But I did like Heather's as a massive place in my heart, because it was, and I think it's mainly because the fans were so amazing.
Yeah, and just the sound from the audience is just insane. Like, it's brilliant, and I think it's just so inspiring that you're kind of giving that kind of Little Mix, that kind of girl power, Spice Girls thing, and you're kind of bringing it back in theatre. And I think that's awesome that we're bringing that kind of vibe to theatre, and it's working.
Oh yeah, it's definitely working. I think this kind of musical is really gonna take off, especially now after Rona has done her thing. Just do my head in.
I know.
Oh gosh. But I do think that those musicals will be the ones that really get everyone.
People will need the relief.
Yeah, it's like the stands of these shows are like such amazing. Like they are so devoted and dedicated to these shows that they really do make it like what it is. They make it like a phenomenon, and it's because of the fans, really.
Absolutely.
Thank you all very much.
Honestly, thank you so much. I don't want to keep you. This was just a hello to kind of welcome you to West End Workshops, and we are going to announce this is an announcement in itself, but we're going to announce the date of your workshop at 5:30. So that's going to be really exciting. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Babe, thank you. It's been lovely chatting.
Enjoy your day, and I feel like I've made a new mate in you. So it's really nice speaking to you.
Yes, lush. We virtually meeting each other. I've loved every second.
Me too. Have a lovely day, darling.
You too, babe. Bye, guys. Bye everyone.
Bye, darling.